Good morning, everybody. Okay. So some people are still joining us. So it's 9:55. Still, I would kindly ask everybody to wait for just 1 more minute. I guess people are still arriving to our boat. So let us just wait a bit, please, before we hit the road. All right, a few more seconds, please, for those that are still coming, are on the lobby, trying to get to connect with us. So let's just give a few more seconds, please. And I guess we will just hit the road, guys. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as we have registered for all over the world, guys. Today, we have a special privilege to hold you with this session on behalf of Digital Mind Group. So we would like to offer you a very warm welcome to our customer, future customer, partners, friends, colleagues of and from EIP Dynamics, ALNA Solution, and Digital Mind. At this time some of you might get a bit confused, as probably you've been expecting somebody more handsome to welcome you, which was supposed to be Rafał Balnowski. Sadly, Rafał got an urgent family issue, so he cannot join us here. Well, I truly believe he's somehow with us, even not physically, and still with us. Yet he asked me to pick up this beautiful challenge and fill off those big shoes of him. So guys, please don't be a tough judge for me. I will try to do my best as host you as much as I can, as best as I can for the next 3 hours, giving you the most beautiful speakers we've ever been cooperating with. So what is, guys, in front of us? So first of all, a little intro and little reminder through the agenda. So we start now with housekeeping rules with a little introduction. Then we go through a panel dedicated for what's new in Business Central. Let's go with the newest release of BC25. Then we'll jump into a session dedicated for AI, Copilot, the beauty of artificial intelligence. Then I will jump into a few wordings about the Digital Mind Group and the EIP Dynamics, after which we will have ISV sessions. So our dear beloved partners from Continia, Tasklet, and Yaveon will jump in and give you a glance towards their solution. After that, we would be proudly to give you a glance to our own solutions, which is POS and B2B Portal. Then we'll move smoothly to Dynamics 365 Souls and Power Platform panel. And last but not least is going to be a case study with UTSCH, one of our biggest customer, presenting the Business Central online implementation, a session which is going to happen between Rebernik and myself. So guys, before we jump in, just a quick housekeeping rules. So first of all, this session is going to be recorded, so there is no need for you guys to do any screenshots, any notes. So everything is going to be recorded, and each of you will receive after our customer day a link to a recording. Just to make it easier, your mics will be muted. Still, you are more than welcome to ask questions, and we will try our best to answer. Just to ask the question, you guys need to hit Q&A panel, which is in the upper right corner. And then just ask a question, and we'll try again, as I said, to do our best to answer all that has been placed there. So I would say that this is the best moment of the next 3 hours to fill up the water, get some coffee, and let us hit the road. So the first on the stage would be a panel dedicated for what's new in the latest Business Central release which is Business Central release 25. And guys, I can really tell you who the speaker, which is there going to be on the stage, is one of our most experienced consultants, one of our best solution architects, and a candidate for a beautiful role of a Microsoft MVP title. Marcin Karpacz has also recently launched a BC blog, which I highly encourage you to take a look later on. It's bc.foxer.pl, where he's just sharing his passion and knowledge regarding the Business Central. Okay, Marcin, let's hear you out. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Przemek. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. It is always a great pleasure for me to present customers on what's new in the newest version of Business Central, because each new version of Business Central, and these are releases every 6 months, has over 100 new features. Often these are features that many of you have been waiting for, which shows that Microsoft listens to us, listens to our opinions and your opinions. Sometimes we are surprised by something completely new, fresh and unique, which makes Business Central at the top of the ERP system rankings. So today I want to show you what Microsoft has prepared for us for the next 6 months. The 2024 release wave 2, marked with the major version number BC25, was released 2 weeks ago on October 1st. However, you should know that not all of the features that we'll present today were delivered with the version 25 on October 1st. Some of them may be delivered throughout the entire wave in minor versions until the next major release. Okay. So I would like to start with the growing availability of the system. More than 10 new countries and regions will be added during this release in minor versions in the upcoming months. Microsoft has not yet revealed which countries these will be. Those marked in green on the map were added in the previous release. But it is certain now that with the 2024 release wave 2, Business Central will be available in more than 180 countries and regions around the world. And according to the UN, there are 195 countries in the world. So such high availability is for sure extremely crucial for every international business that needs to be managed by unified modern ERP solution, as well as for every local business with great plans for expansion. So with so much availability, with high availability, with Business Central, we don't need to be worried about whether we'll find a partner support in the new market that we wish to conquer, and whether the system will be properly localized to meet legal requirements, which is very, very important for you, probably. Okay, so let's move on to the new features, and let's see what Microsoft has prepared for AI-powered Business Central. I think most of you are already familiar with the analysis mode on the list pages. This is one of my favorite features from the previous releases. And the question is whether you are using the Copilot assistance to create new analyses instead of clicking them out by yourself. Regardless of the answer to that question, with this release, the Copilot Assistant for analysis mode just got even better, because after we are sending the initial query, the initial prompt to Copilot to create an analysis, we can still review and adjust the analysis by continuing the dialogue with Copilot. So we can ask to change columns with rows, so we can modify the pivot inside the analysis. We can ask to add more fields, and including those that are hidden on the page but exist in the table. So this is something new. And finally, we can click through the history of all iterations of the generated analysis to determine that you are going too far a little bit with the last step. So I wish to keep the previous iteration of the analysis with me. So it is possible now. And the Copilot Assistant for Analysis mode also gained support for additional languages. And with this release, it is now understands prompts in 20 languages, and it includes Polish, which is a good news for me, for example. Next, we can create product information much faster with Copilot functionalities. There are new Copilot suggestion actions to suggest items, unit of measures, variants, substitutions, and dimensions. On the screenshots, you will see how the suggesting item variants based on the similar items can help us to create new items and to speed up things during the creation of the new items. This release also announcing functionality to generate numbering series with Copilot. We can ask to create number series for one type of document, for the whole module, for example, or even for the whole new company that we are about to set up. Also, Copilot can modify existing numbering series and prepare numbering series for the next year. So no more manual updating of numbering series just before New Year's Eve, which could take up even to a few hours if you had multiple numbering series that change with each month. So that's pretty cool. We have some other improvements for Copilot functionalities also for Business Central. Copilot for Finance is completely separate app from Microsoft that is focused on delivering AI functionalities to the finance teams. The Outlook add-in for this application can now work with Business Central data, allowing you to interact with Copilot in the context of the emails you received from the clients, for example. And for example, we can ask Copilot for Finance to update the payment promise date in Business Central document with a new date that the client has proposed in the email sent to us. So this is pretty neat. Also, there are some enhancements to the chat with Copilot functionality, our best buddy to interact with right inside Business Central. And those enhancements mainly focused on improving in understanding our inquiries, our prompts to the chat that we are giving to the chat, and on giving us not only the answer to our questions, to our questions, but letting the chat to interact with the data. Also, chat can now learn us on how to use extension apps that we have installed in the environment. So this knowledge is based on the documentation that ISV partner deliver with the net. Also, we can now create sales lines by importing CSV files without the need to specify the import schema first. So this is cool. And this is something really, really huge. I cannot say that this is the new feature because this is the whole new module with rich functionalities to handle subscription billing and revenue and expense recognition. So this will be functionality that every company that offers recurring schedule-based services can use to quickly and easily maintain contracts with the customers or vendors and invoice them recurringly with the whole data. You are seeing the whole flow of the module. So we can create service commitments. We can then group the service commitments into service commitment packages. Those service commitment packages can be attached to the items that we have in Business Central, or the items can be a service commitment by itself. Those items we can use on sales quotes and sales orders for sure. While we are shipping the items that includes the service commitment, or it's a service commitment by itself, it automatically will create something called a service object. And of course, we can still invoice the sales, but then from the service object, we can create customer contract or the vendor contract if it's on the vendor side. And from the customer contract, we will maintain the schedule, the billing, the recurring billings, and so on. And then we can easily invoice the customer every month to post revenue or invoice the vendor to post expenses. So this is the theoretical part, let's say. For maintaining all of this, we will have, and we have a new role center, which from which we can track the revenue from the current month, the cost from the current month, and also from the previous months. We can check on the contracts, invoices. We can see the overdue service commitments, not invoiced service commitments. We can create new service commitments, new contracts, and so on. So very useful thing if the subscription billing is something huge for your business. The service object and the contracts records are very rich with functionalities. It is good to know that we also can bill the customers on the services based on the usage. So we don't need to invoice every month the fixed amount or the amount that we will manually enter. So we can base on the usage, and this usage data can be imported to the system in the various ways from the file, through the API, and so on. So many possibilities here for the billing. And yeah, this is the customer contract, the central place where we will have everything attached to the contract, so we can see which service commitments is attached to the contract, what is the service starting date, ending date, what is the service object here, what is the quantity, what is the price for the service for this service commitments, and so on. And if it's active or not, what is the contract type? So many things from here that we can use. Also, if the contract is going to end, we can create contract renewal quote. We can extend the contract. So there are many possibilities. This module have very rich functionality, and at the end we have a functionality to create billing proposals. So this is the recurring billing worksheet where we can create billing proposals, and from the billing proposals that we see here, we can create documents, which will be invoices. Okay. Another huge thing is that Microsoft announced new 70+ built-in Power BI reports for Business Central. And there will be a new Power BI reports for finance area, for sales, purchases, inventory, warehouse, and projects. They are not in public preview as for now, so I can show you. I can't show you more than just 2 screenshots from the finance reports right now, but they will be delivered in November. So stay tuned. And it was also announced that in upcoming months there will be also a reports for manufacturing area also. So finally, we have a built-in out-of-the-box Power BI reports that you can use right away with your Business Central. Okay, in financial reports functionality, this release gives us new out-of-the-box templates, new row definitions, new column definitions, and new predefined reports as well. So there is a new nice report for balance sheet, detailed or summarized, and a new report for income statement, also detailed or summarized, with a richer analysis of trends month over month, year over year, comparing actuals to budgets, comparing budget, showing how the budget's totals, remaining amounts, etc. So those can be used right away out of the box, as I said, and you can use, or you can use just the new row and column definitions to create your own financial reports. Moving around, all the sustainability functionalities in Business Central will now be easy with a completely new role center that we have for sustainability manager. From this, we can get insights into the emissions from this month, ongoing purchases, realized goals, easy access to sustainability journals, and reports and so on. So it's a very useful thing. Regarding the realized goals, now we can set scorecards and goals for employees to track the actual emission and to set target emission for the period of time, so we can motivate our employees to reduce emissions, for example. And we can now use sustainability ledger entries in financial reports, as you can see. So there is a possibility to build financial reports based on the sustainability accounts, based on the sustainability ledger entries, and so on. And there is much more added to the standard sustainability module, which you can read by going to the link here below. Okay, in projects area and service management area, we have received new features that we have known from the other areas so far, but until now they were missing in projects and service management. So thanks to this release, these changes will align functionalities in all for whole system in all areas. So we have directed locations, which is fully supported for projects. Those are locations that is set up with directed putaways and picks. We can replenish directly from projects. So if there is items that we need to purchase for the project, we can replenish directly from the project. There is a button to it. It's not the completely whole new way of replenishing things, just the simple but yet intelligent action to click from the project to to replenish the items that we demand in the project. We can add extended text in the planning lines. We can archive the service orders and service quotes. Finally, there is a reference selection for service item worksheet, many usability improvements in both modules, and at the end, what was expected, the Dynamics 365 field service can be integrated with the service management module, because in the previous release, we can integrate it with the projects module. Now we can choose between those two modules to which we can integrate the field service with. Right. Okay, let's focus now on user experience or user interface features, let's say. So if you are a fan of keyboard shortcuts like I am in Business Central, then take note that so-called access keys to interact with the menu, bookmarks, and even actions with the press of an Alt key are now available in 14 languages, includes Polish, yoo-hoo. So that's it. And there is a completely new method to search data on the lists. It uses full text search engine in SQL database, and it is super fast. It is searching for words, not parts of the strings, so it's more natural to the users to use, and it doesn't matter if the words are in the correct order. It will find the right record no matter what. So you can still switch between both searching methods, as you can see on the screenshot, and the new searching method can be used on lists, can be used also on lookups and drill downs, and can be also used on the global data search tool. With the new Business Central Microsoft Word add-in, we can create and modify even most complicated printout layouts for reports. So we can define layout behavior and set conditions for visibility, like hide empty table or hide table column if it's empty, or hide field if zero, and yeah. And with this release, even more additional improvements to the Word report layouts is there. We can now even use sections known from Microsoft Word in the report AL code to support design elements like show me different things on the report on the first page and different things on the rest. We can maintain the page numbers, we can maintain totals with the sections. So yes, there are many improvements. And the new add-in is already in the app source, so you can download it right now. Okay, now let's take a closer look at what Microsoft offers to provide a world-class service in Business Central. This is a preview of the changes in the upgrade and update management of our PC environments. So the upgrade period for major versions, like the one that we discussed today, will be extended to 5 months. This provides huge flexibility for customers to upgrade compared to 60 days upgrade period that we have now. On the other hand, minor versions updates will be completely optional. Now they have the same policy as major releases, and from now on they will be completely optional, but those changes will become available only for Microsoft localized environments. So if you have a partner localized environment like we have in Polish, for example, you will face the same upgrade and update policy as before, unless for now. We'll see how it goes. This is a preview for Microsoft localized environments. There are many improvements in this release that will make developers' life much easier, which is probably a good news for all of us. So I will mention only a few. Improvements have been made to the AL interfaces, which are the breakthrough in terms of designing functionalities for BC that are meant to be expanded in the future. I bet many of you guys has requirements for the system for the modifications that are meant to be expanded in the future. So with AL interfaces, this is possible. This is very easy to extensive in the future. So that's a good thing. The profiles and roles can be now extended. We have now the save as JSON actions supported for the query objects to be used on the query objects. We can modify, insert, modify, delete on the allowed on the page extensions. Package resources for extensions can be used to subscribe any initial data or demo data that comes with an extension. So we can subtract it from the AL code to the package outside the code. So no data need to be hard coded in AL anymore. We have a new AL method for HTTP patch requests. So any request to Business Central API that involves updating the data, modifying the data in Business Central can now be handled with this. Developers can use this keyword known from other programming languages. They can use ternary operator that is also known from other programming languages for one-liner conditions in the code. And finally, we have received a developer toolkit to build Copilot-based functionalities for all of you. So if you like to know, I would like to know what AI and Copilot-based features, requirements would you like to implement for your business in Business Central. So now we are able to handle any such request for the system. So yeah, go ahead and try us out and try the Copilot. Okay, and last but not least, I would like to talk about performance. When there is a situation when a user notices a poor performance in Business Central during work, but sometimes they are unable to repeat it again when we are ready to run the performance profiler and see where the problem lies. That's because the performance problems sometimes appears only under certain circumstances, conditions. So fortunately, Microsoft in this release has added the ability to schedule performance profiler in the release, so it can be run in the background for a given user, catching all processes that lasting longer than a specified time. So after this, we can go to the system, see all the logged events in the and show them in the standard profiler way with a breakdown on the query duration for individual apps, objects, and viewing the entire call stack to see where the problem lies and where is our time spent, right? And from other performance improvements, much more performant data search, list search, lookup, and drill down search that uses full text search on the SQL that I was already mentioned. But for you to know, developers will get additional possibilities to select where the new data search mode should be implemented on what fields and what fields should be excluded from full text search. to optimize the database usage. And we have also optimized job queue flow to preserve job queue number in a queue with FIFO, because we want to prevent that job will be repeatedly rescheduled again and again without logging any error. That what happens before could happen before, and now job queues will also respect the job priority within the job category. So good improvements over job queues. And very important for all of you that uses BC advanced warehouse functionalities with large data volume, Microsoft reduces table locking behavior when posting warehouse entries concurrently by many users at the same time. So this is a very good thing to know. And that's all what I could fit in the agenda for today. There is much more. If you have any questions, please use Q&A button in Teams. I will try to answer them. And I strongly encourage you all to upgrade your Business Central to the newest version and to have fun with all of the new features from 2024 release wave 2. So thank you, and back to you, Przemek.
Oh, thank you, Marcin. I hope you guys did enjoy this. I was just by going through was wondering what would be the top 3 issues you would remember after the session. So you cannot answer because you are muted, but I will tell you just mine. So for me, I think the best, as I am in the business of implementation, so being this implementation director, I really do this business. So guys, I can tell you based on my own experience, I really feel the CS file import is now a game changer. So for sales line, so that's something which I really hope to take a benefit for you as our beloved customers. The other thing is I really like this feature of having a possibility to tag with Copilot. Last but not least, this Power BI reports. Wow, that is really a game changer. That is really a thing. So really looking forward for November, Marcin, right? November, where it is going to be published. And you guys, please also take a note with bc.foxer.pl, where Marcin for sure will definitely put this releases in Power BI in November. Thingy. And now let's move forward. So the next session, guys, is dedicated for Power Up at Business Central with Copilot and Power BI. The stage is going to be given to Mateusz Przybylski, our senior consultant. And I think I can just share a little story regarding Mateusz. So I can tell you guys, last time during the customer day on-site, it was held in May in Warsaw. Mateusz's session was one of the best received session from the customer day, from the general overall customer day. So I'm really looking forward, and let's see how Mateusz can do this time and what new content and new story Mateusz is going to give to us. So Mateusz, if you are ready, and how you are, so the stage is yours. Please take over the screen, please.
Thank you very much. The screen should be shared already. So good morning, everyone. My name is Mateusz Przybylski, and first of all, thank you for taking the time to join our meeting today. It's a great opportunity for me to share some insightful and ambitious plans, particularly regarding 2 key products, Power BI and Copilot in Business Central. I have the pleasure of presenting some truly exciting and modern innovations, and I hope this brief session will motivate you to take actions that will help grow your businesses. All this in line with the spirit of today's presentation titled From Data to Decisions. Okay, let's start with a popular pleasant question. Will AI take our jobs? So it turns out that's not quite the case. Do you know that the self-service store from the US, Amazon just walked out, had a significant problem? It turned out that 1,000 people in India were involved in manually verifying transactions. Once this issue became known, Amazon stopped implementations until this technology could be improved. So it wasn't the right moment yet, but it may return stronger in the future. So the question is even more interesting now. And building on that, professor at Harvard Business School noted that AI won't replace humans, but humans with AI will replace humans without AI. A lot of humans, a lot of AI, but it is what it is. But this quote can be understood as suggesting that people known as human intelligence combined with artificial intelligence are currently the most powerful combination and will continue to be so in the near future. This means that we shouldn't view AI as a loss of something. Rather, we should understand it as an opportunity for exciting change, an opportunity for personal growth, for the development of our companies or our employees. It's important that the competition is chasing us in this endeavor, rather than us chasing the competition. And with Business Central, I truly believe this is possible. So let's take another one. I will ask another question that should spark our creativity. What will not be replaced by artificial intelligence, at least for many years to come, because you never know? And the answer is tricky, because the question should be really should be who and not what. And the answer is teachers. And I think most of us would agree with that teachers, especially first step of the education, should be and will be human teachers. And just 2 days ago, on October 14th, we celebrated Teachers' Day in Poland to highlight significant role teachers play in society. A key part of the celebration is the tradition of students giving gifts to their teachers. Given these interesting times we live in, many students may have used some help in choosing the best gift. Students can use probably have used Copilot to determine what they should get their teachers. And the answer, of course, could be flowers. And if we speak about the flowers, there is something I can tell you. I know one of company that sells flowers and similar products, which is called Bloomin'. And by complete coincidence, the company is using Business Central and support of the Copilot module. And I will present to you the features that are currently being gladly utilized by the company called Bloomin'. It's also worth remembering that what I will show you is just the beginning, as also Marcin said, as Microsoft will be significantly developing AI branch just as OpenAI is evolving. So check the future releases as well. Moving forward, let's start with the first feature from the Copilot family, which is very easy to follow. So marketing text suggestion. This is the oldest Copilot function. Many of you probably know it, but long story short, it creates marketing text based on the item attributes in Business Central, which you can push later to Shopify, for example, as a description. Okay, we can see the inventory here, flowers, yeah, and each item has certain attributes. For example, yellow tulips are quite classic, marked as not for Valentine's Day. On the other hand, spring bouquet is modern and works for Valentine's, Teacher's Day, wedding, or Mother's Day. And now, to use this, we can utilize these attributes. So based on the attributes, if even the list is larger, Copilot is able to generate marketing text on the left-hand side. And we can see that the attributes on the right-hand side are being incorporated into the text. And also we can choose the tone, the format, and the emphasis to control a bit more the way of how marketing text is created by Copilot. It's time-saving, easy, and efficient. Another functionality suggests lines on sales document. This might be used to speed up the sales order process. And here I divided the demonstration into two parts because just a few days ago, an expansion of this module was released. But let's start from the beginning. When we activate this function, we'll see a window where we need to enter a command in natural language, so-called prompt. It's possible to generate lines in sales order based on the descriptive fields from the item records, including, of course, attributes. Alternatively, we can copy lines from other documents. We can just type recent order. There is no need to know the exact number. And when it comes to generating lines based on data in the item database, Copilot attempts to match our natural language to the fields in the tables on the right-hand side. All right. So how does it work exactly? So we can simply type, for example, 2 yellow tulips, and 3 bouquets for Teachers' Day. And we can add, so it's also important that we can add this note for Teachers' Day, so Copilot can look for attributes, just to ensure that the items are appropriate for the event based on attributes in BC. And based on that, Copilot is suggesting items based on our input, and this input later can be transformed to the sales order lines. Of course, after we accept it. So it's again simple and straightforward, but quite useful. But I mentioned that the suggest line feature has now been improved. So let's check what it is about. The suggest lines functionality can now read CSV files and create the sales line based on that CSV files. And to you, if someone doesn't know, so but most of you have worked with the immortal CSV file format, which is a text with a separator. It usually consists of header and rows, so-called lines. In the past, we often had to create special imports in Business Central, sometimes several for different clients, or use ready-made extensions, which were often paid. And it looks like now we are at a point where all of this may soon not be needed. So let's move forward. Of course, there are some limitations. Yeah, the Copilot is not does not know everything, but AI can easily find products based on the description from the CSV file, but it needs to be relatively accurate. In the world of EDI and CSV files, this is quite easy because customers typically use their own item number series, which is worth including in item reference, which I have also done. And our CSV file consists of both item and description. So let's check how Copilot handles it. Okay, and we'll import the CSV file at Blooming Company. So let's open the sales order and use the suggest lines feature by Copilot. In that window, we will use the attach functionality and then drag and drop the CSV file. And after a while, here we can see that Copilot has selected item and description columns as parameter to assist with the item number recognition for Business Central. Additionally, it correctly mapped the quantity and unit of measure columns. To wrap it up, as for now, we can map 3 things: item, which is product, quantity, and unit of measure. So now let's switch the view to include confidence, so we can check how confident Copilot was. Matching status balance is fine, so let's generate it. Now we can see that the Copilot is focusing on the description from the CSV file, and this is our result. So the confidence level is high because Copilot had a match based on search description and item reference. But let's make it a little bit more difficult. I will not apply it yet. I will attach another file from the same customer. So let's use the same functionality for a moment. Drag and drop CSV file. Okay, let's wait a while. Okay, and now I will disable searching based on the description, which means that description from the CSV file will not be taken into consideration anymore. So now you will notice that only the item reference is used in the engine, but it was still enough. So now the search terms are only regarding item reference. So let's add this line. And then we have our CSV file imported. So that's quite a heavy tool to use now. Remember, if the client uses unusual column names in the CSV file and Copilot doesn't recognize them automatically, we can easily specify what corresponds to what. Also, small typos in the description or grammar mistakes are fine for Copilot. And building on what Marcin said, analyze data in lists, which is, of course, another functionality used by Blooming Company. The data analysis view itself does not require Copilot, as it was mentioned, but we can use it in this mode by clicking the button visible on the left side to create a specific analytical view using natural language. And moving forward, in the familiar window where we can enter natural language text, we can use certain comments. We can group, we can sort, we can filter, or we can just adjust the appearance of the columns in this view. And example of prompts that we can use, for instance, in the item ledger entry tables are show items by type and unit of measure, or show total quantity on hand per location and per unit of measure. But how does it work in real life? I will show you what we can achieve from the perspective of the customer ledger entries. I would like Copilot to generate for me open invoices grouped by customers and sorted from the highest to lowest value. So open invoices grouped by customers and sorted from the highest to lowest value. Let's give it a moment to prepare our analysis. And as you can see, the analysis is done. It's fair enough. That's exactly what I wanted. It's open, it's sorted, perfect. But now I remembered that I need the document number. Yeah, so I will ask the Copilot to add the document number on my analysis view, and then we have our document number. But the problem is I really want to have on the left-hand side. So what I need to do, I just need to write it, and I will also add the comment to freeze it. So once the view will be updated, the document number will be visible on the left side, and let's check it out. Yeah, and it works exactly as it should. So that conversation can be also used for analysis view. And another popular functionality of Copilot is chat. Chat is your personal assistant, and it's also built into Business Central. At this moment, it can read data from our database or help us by answering questions related to the functionality of Business Central. In the near future, it should be possible to create records, such as orders, through a conversation with chat. And this is another opportunity we should look out for. However, I must remind you that honestly, for now, it only supports the English language, but this should also change. Okay, and let's check it out. So chat can be pinned to the right side of Business Central, and it's resilient to other BC work, meaning it doesn't refresh every time we open different page in BC. So let's ask it to find a sales invoice based on the order number. Someone called us and they say they didn't receive an invoice, and we want to clarify that. So the invoice has been found, and now it's our role to convey this information to the client. Let's try something different. Let's ask about available items that cost less than 30 zloty, and Copilot thinks and looking for the data and generates a ready-made list of items already pre-filtered that we can simply open and check what we have. Now we can ask for sales invoices for the client Rela Cloud in February, because for some reason we need it. We don't want to find it manually, so we need it and we receive it, and then we can open the invoices. Let's also ask for advice on direct delivery from the vendor to the customer. Copilot searches the documentation for the needed information. As you can see, it's almost done, and now Copilot explains us the drop shipment process. It's worth thanking it, so it feels motivated to keep improving, and then we can simply move on. Okay, and there are still a few other functionalities of Copilot, and for sure it will be more in the future in the standard Business Central. And I encourage you really to try them out in your own environment. If you have Business Central online, just enable them. It's also worth noting that our partner, Data Courage, is also developing built-in Business Central functionalities, but not only, based on custom AI features, and it's worth taking an interest in them. Today, we'll focus on financial intelligence and item intelligence. So what we can do. The company who uses financial and item intelligence is selling pumpkins, which is quite a popular product in October. And thanks to AI, we can analyze how each item performs. As you can see, the report is quite detailed, which helps in making better decisions. We can review sales summaries, item performance, trends, seasonality, and receive suggestions for improving sales along with recommended actions. Now let's explore financial intelligence. By using chat, we can simulate potential future events. So for example, what if electricity costs increase by 10%? how would the profit and loss statement be affected? We can simply type this kind of questions, and after a short analysis, the predicted monthly cost become visible. That's simple as that. We can also evaluate the current P&L to identify key KPIs and uncover interesting insights, such as anomalies and unusual patterns. Additionally, some of you might have asked about customer reports, and with data coverage application, this is also possible. You can find here key metrics, payment behavior, or size trend and pattern, everything based on Business Central data with help of AI, from data to executive decision. It might happen that thanks to Copilot, AI, and other automation, employees will have a bit more time. And we will be considering how best to use that time. These are your employees, intelligent people, so we can, for example, allocate this time to data analysis, which will contribute to the company's growth. If you have data, and you do, because most of you already have or will have ERP system, and hopefully that would be Business Central. And if you have Power BI, which is easy to get, then at this point, you already get seamless integration between BC and Power BI, let's say for free. With a little support from our side, working together with people, people who know your business best, which are your top employees, we can create tremendous value together. And a quick reminder, here at EIP Dynamics, we implement Power BI, so we strongly encourage you to work with us. And just like the company Bloomin did, which has recently started using Power BI. But before we start with reports, and before we start, let's say, whole business intelligence, let's remember that if you torture the data long enough, it will confess to anything. And this means that we shouldn't analyze things out of the context, and we shouldn't try to force correlation between, for example, butter production in Bangladesh and the rise of the SP 500 index. Because if you really try, you can create analysis which will confirm that, and you will be right, but for what? So let's rather focus what we can analyze as the company Bloomin, and what we can do to make it meaningful. Okay, so now we are looking at a dedicated sales report for the company Bloomin, created in Power BI. And on the left side, we have a handy panel for filtering the most important report attributes. We can see year, month, customer, item category, or even specific product. In the central part, you will find detailed sales data of flowers categorized and compared to the previous year with a calculated delta. Other visualization display additional statistics used by Bloomin analysts. The report itself, of course, is dynamic. We can dive into the data, explore causes, and even draw conclusions. The only limit is our imagination. However, sometimes also the imagination of the person who created this report. So that's important. This is why it's important to find the right consultants. And for example, from EIP Dynamics, I've heard that there is some guy called Mateusz, and he's pretty good. So you can try. But what we can tell more about this report? So the first insight we can gather from the report is the positive correlation in sales that occurred in May and the same period last year. This was due to Mother's Day, and our campaign was successful both years, so really good job. Another fact is that we can also observe a significant peak in October, and this did not happen in the previous year. This could be attributed to the success of Bloomin marketing campaign in this year for Teachers' Day. And now we can check how potted flowers are selling. So I will click on this bar quickly. Okay, and we can check how it was also compared to last year. So now we can see that this year, Bloomin had at least 4 peaks in potted category. So first was in February, second in May, then July, and then October. We can also notice that in August last year, there was no sales at all. I mean, Blooming stopped selling potted flowers entirely. This year, the company managed to fix that. Also, someone can notice that this year there is some visible trends in terms of selling potted flowers, which is here, which is also worth a discussion. And what we can see else that we have a map. So let me just disable the potted filter. So I will just unclick it. And we can see that based on the map, which is showing sales values, we can say that the sales are focused on Western Poland because Blooming is having headquarters in Poznań. However, the company is starting to generate more and more sales in the Eastern regions, which is also the strategy we can confirm. And this type of report can also help us decide whether we need to invest some money in marketing to boost the sales of particular inventory group or regions or categories, or on the contrary, help us verify if the money already spent is bringing real value, which is probably increased sales. Okay, and to sum this up, decision is an interpretation of data. And Copilot operates based on data, while Power BI allow us to interpret the data. And now the last two things, which can be summarized with term AA, and it stands for automation and analytics. And automation will be possible thanks to Copilot in Business Central, while analysis will be provided by Power BI. And now merging these two products together, we can create value, advantage, decision, and success. And I would like to conclude this meeting with that success word. So thank you for your attention. You can find me on the LinkedIn by scanning the QR code, and I'm happy to exchange the experiences.
Wow, thank you, Mateusz. That was such an amazing session. I am really happy that those things that Marcin has just said, as a new releases, such as the import of CSV files or chat with Copilot, are already there working, and you were able to present them. Thank you so much for that. So guys, we are moving a little bit, we are running a little bit out of time, so I will try to speed up with the next session. So guys, for those who has joined, and I see so many people has joined later, my name is Przemysław Dziedzic. I am a director of an implementation department and partnership. And today with this role, I try to substitute Rafał Barnowski, who sadly had been called with the serious family matters and cannot join us. So with that panel, I will try to do my best to give you a glance of what's new with EIP Dynamics and Digital Mind Group. And guys, it's not so often when we are able to discuss openly, transparently about the changes that are happening at our company. I would make a bold claim that our company changes significantly every year. And now I'm just wondering how much of those changes are visible to you guys. So let us try to make a little play around. Let us try to make a little quiz with Mentimeter. So at this moment of time, I would kindly ask you to get your phones ready. And while those phones are ready, upstairs you can really see a link to joinandmenti.com, where you guys are asked kindly to use a code 13394681 and log in please to Mentimeter, and we'll try to make a little quiz out of what do you guys know and understand and hear about Digital Mind Group, EIP Dynamics, Alma Business. 5 players already, so I really encourage you guys to jump in there. It's not causing any issue. Just jump in, use menti.com and code 13394681. 9 players already, guys. It's barely 10% of us. So be so kind and jump in. It's really fun, can tell you. Oh, a little car has jumped in. Okay, that's nice. A cake. Okay, cool. 14 players already. Let's hit maybe 20 players, guys, and let's move forward, please. So 5 left. Maybe somebody else would like to join. Okay, 16 people. Cool. That's so cool. Okay, guys. So maybe let's try to hit the road. Okay, 17, 18. Right. Okay, perfect. So guys, that those of you which are still logging in, just go ahead. Okay, 19. And do I get 20? Yes, I get 20. Cool. Thank you so much, guys. Let's move forward then, please, with the question number 1. Okay, answer fast to get more points. What country is Digital Mind from? What country is Digital Mind from? The first answer, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, or Poland? What country is Digital Mind from? Poland, Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia. 5 seconds left. What country is Digital Mind from? Okay, so here we go. 10 people had made a right answer. So yes, Digital Mind is from Latvia. Okay, so let us hit to another question. Question number 2. Okay, 22 players. Thank you guys for joining this quiz. How many people works in the Digital Mind group? How many people works with Digital Mind group? Below 100, between 100 and 200, 201 to 500, or 500 plus people? How many people work with Digital Mind group? Below 100, 100 to 200, 200 to 500, 500 plus? Yes, the answer is a group as such is more than 200 people already now. So we are in the range of 200 to 500 people. Question number 3. Okay. Question number 3. Which product was not created by our team? Which product was not created by our team? Aqua Dynamics, B2B Portal, integration with BaseLinker, or mobile WMS? Which product was not created by us? Aqua Dynamics, B2B Portal, integration with BaseLinker, or mobile WMS? We did not create one of those products. And the answer is mobile WMS. 14 people made the right answer. That is such a good proportion of the good answer. Okay, let's move forward, please. Leadership board. So who won, who lost? Okay, so it's still counting, still counting. Okay, so then we have Jake, Joanna, and Roman. So guys, those 3 of you which has won, please, after that session, be so kind and contact me directly. We'll try to share some little gifts with you. Thank you so much for that round. And now let's move back to a slideshow again. Okay, so guys, since the beginning of this year, EAP Dynamic has been a part of Digital Mind Group. So that's something that you probably know already. So now what is happening, we are working hand to hand with our colleagues from Baltics, meaning Alma Business, Digital Mind. So once again, I would like to take this opportunity and welcome all of you with our Customer Day. Next year, it's going to be probably much more easier because we are having a step forward in a common brand, but this is something to be announced. So guys, stay tuned. We'll again try to speed up with the next slides and try to make the best out of this as fast as possible. So belonging to the Digital Mind Group gives us a bunch of benefits. So one of the most important benefits, which I personally see, is a mature and proven structure, which gives us, as an organization, a high level of expertise leaders, which enables us to build a stable and trustful teams, which on the other side, which is very important for customer, are able to allows us to make a potential growth and scalability and changeability if needed. The second big advantage, which comes together with belonging to a Digital Mind Group, is the power to growth. So the power to growth, meaning the power to growth with additional technologies. So additional technologies is something you will already listen and hear about the next step. So let me cut into another benefit of belonging to a Digital Mind Group. As together with the power of technology, we already have an access to a wide group of experts, which enables us at scaling of our business And then altogether means a stabilization not only for us as employees, but also what is even more important, stabilization for you guys as our beloved customers. About Digital Mind Group as such. So as now, you might remember for the quiz, we are in the size of 200 to 500 people, which means currently we have more than 300 employees on board, which is very interesting because currently we have more than 100 plus experts. Experts means a seniority, high seniority level, which is I would rise this phase very rare on the market. So a certain high seniority level is not so common on the market. With our project, with our customers, we are already present international, what means that we are already present in more than 30 countries, working with you guys in Europe and also in America, and something which me as an implementation director something that makes me really proud of is that we already have managed to do an implementation of Business Central in more than 80 projects, which is very interesting. For plus 40 were been a Business Central online implementations. And as I said, we are international guys. So with this white map, you can see where we already did a business with. So you see Europe and Americas and the yellow. Those are the countries where we've been present over the last 12 months. It includes Poland, naturally, Germany, but also, as you can see, Mexico. And now as belonging to the group, guys, so we as a group, we are coming, of course, as a group or as a ERP Dynamics first, we are coming, of course, from the corner of Business Central ecosystem. But now, as a group, I would not hesitate to raise a sentence that we are already an experts of Microsoft ecosystem. That goes together not only with Business Central, but we already have in-house possibilities and the skills and talented people with finance and operations, with sales, so let it be CRM, and as you can see already with Copilot, Power Apps, and Power Automate, and the beauty of Power BI. So once again, results we have already seen, but maybe we could. So once again, I would congrats to those 3 winners. Guys, again, make sure that you contact me after the event. I really have something special for you. And just to speed up the next slide, I was wondering, and we were wondering how the Copilot would do with those questions. So we didn't ask all those questions, just first 2. But it was very interesting to see what Copilot is doing and how Copilot is understanding digital mind from. So we've been asking the question, what country is digital mind from? As you can see, that is a good question. So, right, Copilot, you Copilot, that's a good answer. The second question is a bit more cryptic. How many apps do Alna Business and EIP Dynamics have on App Stores? So that question is not completely true, as we don't have so many, especially as EIP Dynamics, a warehouse management solution, which was there on our quiz question presentation. So we do not have mobile WMS solution yet. But why shall we have created something which is already up and running perfect with one of ISV solutions, so which shortly you will see on the next panel, where the next slot is dedicated for our dear ISV partners. So you guys jumped in to a presentation of Continia given by Martin Philipp. The next on the stage would be Mike Svendsen, a Tasklet company presenting their own beautiful mobile WMS solution. Last but not least, would be there on the stage Michael Ebinger from Yaveon, presenting the ProBatch. So at this moment of time, I would move smoothly to Martin.
Good morning.
Good morning, Martin. Thank you for being with us.
Absolutely.
I don't see you on the camera, but I would say the stage is yours, Martin.
Thank you. It is on. I can see myself, but let me quickly share my screen.
Perfect.
Good morning, everybody. Can you see my screen? That's the most important part.
Yes, it's Continia. Yes, we can go ahead.
All right. I'll try to keep it short and get some of the time back. But thank you for coming out to the EIP online event. Last year we did it in Warsaw, which was amazing to see a lot of you, and now online, which is also fine. So for you, my name is Martin. Let me see if I can get my PowerPoint to work. Yes, my name is Martin. I work at Continia, and I'm responsible with my colleagues for the Polish market, and I work closely together with EIP to help you automate your finance processes. I got a little agenda today. I want to do a short introduction on Continia software. And then the main topic of this, what I want to show you today, is Continia sustainability, how it integrates with expense management and document capture and carbon accounting in your Business Central. If you got questions, please type them into the panel. I will hang into the chat a little bit after the meeting and answer them. And otherwise, I will get the answers to you later on. So about Continia, we're a software company that creates add-ons for, in the past, Dynamics NAV and now Business Central. All of our solutions are created for automating the finance department. And we have several products to do this. One of the major ones is called document capture. Some of you already use it. It is our solution for scanning, registering, and archiving your incoming invoices and credit notes, but also the e-invoicing part, especially with KSEF coming up in Poland. It's good to know that we can process that as well when it becomes mandatory, I think in 2026 or end of 2025. We have another solution called expense management, which allows users to take a photo of a receipt when they travel, and then they can upload that to Business Central automatically. We have a solution called document output, which allows you to send out your documents batch-wise from within Business Central. So within the press of a button, all of your invoices will be sent out with a standardized email of your choosing. We have a payment management solution, which is not yet available in Poland yet, unless you maybe use a Danish bank, a Dutch bank, or a UK bank. But basically, we can pay from within Business Central, which is amazing. And this product that I'm going to show you today is called Continia Sustainability, which is our solution to help you track your carbon emissions. The strength of Continia is that all of our solutions are fully integrated within Business Central, so you do not have to open up a separate application. You open up Business Central in the morning, and our software is there. So that is a short recap of what we do as Continia. If you want to see any of those solutions, please contact somebody at EIP, your account representative, and we'll be happy to show it to you. But today, Continia Sustainability. It is a solution that we created to help you track your carbon emissions. But why are we doing this? That is most importantly first. So a couple of months ago when I was in Warsaw showing this to you, this was quite new. But basically, in short, the EU and other governments want to be climate neutral in 2050. And we got to start with that now. So the EU created rules for companies with a certain threshold of an X amount of turnover. I think it's 150 million euros now, have to report on their carbon emissions. In 2025, that amount will be lowered to 40 million as a minimum standard. So you might think, oh, well, lucky, I do not have to do anything. Well, because and I will show that in my next slide, you have to report also in your supply chain. So if you deliver your services or goods to a company that has the requirement to report on ESG, they are going to ask you as well from how much carbon did you emit during creating your processes. It is called CSRD, the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive from the EU, and it needs you to report on your environment, social, and governance. Our solution, Continia Sustainability, now focuses first on the carbon emission part of this report, and later on we want to add the social and governance part as well. But for now, it is carbon emissions in the beginning. How do you have to do your reporting? Well, the EU came up with the Greenhouse Gas Protocol, and this is how you can report your carbon emissions. And we do that in 3 different scopes. Scopes number 1 in the middle is basically everything, all the emissions that you have around your own company. So it is your factories and maybe your company vehicles. Then if we look to the left, we got scope 2. You need to report on how much electricity and gas you're using. And then scope number 3, on the left-hand side, you got indirect, and on the right-hand side as well, actually. But starting on the left-hand side, basically, you have to do the emissions of your whole supply chain, your business travel, your capital goods, the goods that you purchase, employee commuting. And then on the other hand, the product you created, how much is it emitting during its life cycle, in short. I can send you this presentation with more detailed afterwards, but this is it in total. There's a lot that you need to report on. And now you're thinking, how do you need to report on that? Well, you can do that in 2 different ways. One is called spend-based. Basically, you can put a carbon emission amount to the amount of money that you spend. So, for example, you can say, I bought 1,000 euros worth of fuel, which gives you an average amount of how much carbon you emitted. This is an approved method, but it's not very accurate, but it's very easy to implement. The second method is called activity-based. With activity-based, we're going more into detail. So instead of saying, I bought 1,000 euros worth of fuel, you're going to say, I bought 100 liters of fuel. And this will make your emission tracking a lot more accurate. And companies are allowed to do both. And with our solution, we can do both as well, which is pretty cool. So now Continia Sustainability. We released the solution 2 weeks ago on October 1st. It is fully integrated into your Business Central. It will allow you to do automated calculations of the emissions, and with the help of document capture and expense management, you hardly have any work getting the information in, but I will tell you more on this later on. What is very important, we have integrated emission factor sets. There are a lot of companies and governments in the world that create these calculations for you that will say, okay, if you drive with a diesel car, you will emit X amount of CO2 per kilometer. And we get this information directly from them. So you do not have to make any calculations yourselves. We get this information. I mentioned fully integrated with expense management and document capture. These tools will perfectly help you getting the information into Continia Sustainability. With expense management, for example, if a user uses our software and they, for example, do a mileage claim saying, I drove from Warsaw to Vilnius, the capital of Lithuania, that is about 700 kilometers. And then the system can put that data into Continia Sustainability saying you drove 700 kilometers with this type of car, so you emitted X amount of carbon. You can also say, if I stayed in a hotel, in a 4-star hotel, the emission factor sets know how many carbon did you emit during your stay there. And it can all read this when a user is putting in an expense, which is pretty awesome. Besides the expense management, we can also use document capture. With document capture, we scan your incoming invoices. And with this solution, we can read all the purchases that you make and convert that into a CO2e equivalent and put that right into Continia Sustainability. What is important to know, this will make your life a lot easier, but the solution will work as a standalone, so you can also type it in manually if you prefer to do so. So a bit of a flow of how it will look like. On the left-hand side, you got the different sources of where we can get our information from. So if you start at the top left, you can get your expenses, but also invoices and credit notes. But we can also get the information directly from your item ledger entries and your general ledger entries. Then it will be registered into Business Central. Then the system will import it into your environmental journals, do the automatic calculation of the emissions, and then put it in your sustainability report. And it can all be automated, saving you so much time. The report, how would it look like? We really try to mimic the look and feel of Business Central. So we got our example of the greenhouse gas protocol report over here in scope 1, 2, and 3. We allocate that automatically, so you do not have to choose, and you get a report in Business Central like this. And how is this report built up? Starting off with your environmental accounts, these are basically like your general ledger accounts in finance, and we structure it in a way that it will look very familiar to you. These environmental accounts get feeded by your emission types that apply to your company, like fuel, industrial processes, cooling, heating, all that kind of things. They will be put into journals like you're used to with financial journals as well. And then the last part, the emission factor sets. This is very important. So we do not make the calculations manually, or you have to put an Excel sheet next to it. We get the information from government approved websites. We do not have or know if the Polish government has a emission factor set of themselves, but that doesn't mean that you cannot start using this in Poland already. DEFRA is probably the most recognized worldwide that makes all the calculations. It says UK here, but it's used all over the world, and you can use this in Poland as well to calculate your emissions. The final slide, and I think I'm within the time, about 10 minutes. Microsoft also released a sustainability solution in the new Business Central version. What is important to know, our solution is on our own. It stands by itself. However, we're good friends with Microsoft. We've been working them for many years, and we are trying to see if we can maybe work together even more and more. But the main differences between our solution and the standard of Microsoft is that we do the automated calculations and allocations for you in the different scopes. We use 50,000 emission factor sets to calculate it for you, instead of you have to do it manually with the Microsoft one. We can do the data import from multiple ways, manually, of course, via general ledger accounts and the item ledger entries, but we can also use expense management and document capture, making your life a lot easier. And then we will create a sustainability report that you can give to your vendors automatically. Now, I know this is a lot of information, and this solution can do a lot more than I just explained in the last 10 minutes, but this is what I wanted to show you today. The solution is ready, so if you would like to know more about this, please contact somebody at EIP, and we can arrange a demo for you and your company, and also for our other solutions. And I really hope that you liked it, and thank you, Przemysław, for having me today. And I do not know if I hand over to you, Przemysław, or to Mickey from Tasklet right now, but
I would say both. Thank you, Martin. That was really inspiring session, and I think it's really beautiful that we've Continia with customers has just a choice and selection choice and possibilities. So I think it's really cool to see that there is a bunch of possibilities, and each of you can easily just select what is best fitting for your business.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again. And at this point of time, I will really give the stage back to Mickey, our ISV partner Tasklet, which is there together with us to go ahead with mobile WMS solutions. So Mickey, please, the stage is yours now.
Thank you so much, Przemysław. But guys, welcome to this customer day, and I'm so proud to be here. And now let's just jump straight into Tasklet because we have not so much time, so let's just do it. I'll try to share my screen here, and hopefully you can see it. I'll just go through some quick slides, and then I'll jump into the actual demo of our products. So yeah, I'm Mickey. I'm a partner account manager here at Tasklet Factory, and I'm in charge of the Polish market, and so a lot of you customers, but also we have all of our partner managers spread across the whole Europe and also the worldwide population. So yeah, but I'll jump into it. So let me just see if I can change my slide here. Yeah, we want to optimize your warehouse with our mobile WMS. That's as simple as that. And we have these handheld devices that we connect to our mobile WMS solution, and then it's part of EAP's offering with the mobile WMS. But yeah, short about Tasklet Factory, we are a mobile WMS company that integrates to the standard of BC and NAV. We were founded back in 2008, and now we are approximately 50 to 60 people here in Tasklet. Offices both in Tampa and Florida, but also here in Denmark, where I'm located at the moment. We support this software solution for your warehouse, so you can go with your mobile devices, scan in your barcodes and your items, and put and place them on the different bins in those locations. We are also a hardware reseller, which means that we can sell you the hardware, but we can also advise you which kind of hardware to buy, because you would need to pick from around 35 certified devices of Tasklet to be able to run our product. But moving on. So I've brought to you today this value proposition of ours, which means that these are the 5 things that I normally say to customers when I present our product. But basically, as you can see, I try to depict that we are very user-friendly mobile WMS software. So I would say 30 minutes to 1 hour, then you're up and running with the Tasklet mobile WMS. Quick and easy installation, of course, depending on how good EIP is. But those are one of our best partners, so they are very good with Tasklet, and then it could be quick and easy to be up and running. Then we have this offline capability as well, which means that when you're inside a receiving order or inside a put away order or a pick order, you can actually work offline with our product, meaning that you don't need to worry about weak access points, or if something is broken down, you can actually go ahead, scan your registrations, but then you would need Wi-Fi again to post these registrations. Yeah. The technology behind it is that we communicate through web services, so no need for any middle servers. You can just connect your mobile device to the ERP system, and then we update real time with all of the data. We are in some way the extended hand of your ERP system, so whatever you typically can do inside the ERP system, you can also do with the mobile device in terms of warehousing, that is. You would need to choose between these Honeywell, Zebra, and Datalogic devices that all run Android Enterprise, because that's just mandatory to use Tasklet. So that's it. We use a device management system called Sodi Mobile Control, which is a third-party software, so we can see your devices in the warehouse all the time together with your partner, and then we can actually remotely help you if you have issues on this device in your warehouse. We don't need to send any consultants whatsoever. We can help you directly and see what's happening on your screen. Yeah. So now I'll jump into the demo. I'll just change my screen here, and now you can see the handheld device. This is the Tasklet device. This is the login screen. And when you have your credentials or an ID card, you can actually log in straight ahead. So I'll do that. It's a little bit fast, but there's also some things that we need to go through. So here we have all of our functionalities. And while we cannot make them all today, I can go into receive, pick. I want to show a planned count and also an unplanned move. We also support production and assembly orders, but you can always reach out to me, and then we can have a demo, or you can reach out to EIP, and then we can also discuss how this is looking going forward. But jumping into the receive. So inside here, we have all of the receiving orders, which means that it can be purchase orders, it can be inbound transfer orders, it can be sales return orders. It doesn't matter, we don't differ. These can all be released onto the handheld device from the backend of BC, and then you can see these receiving orders on your device. Right now, we have 11, but we could actually also have 100 or 1,000 receiving orders. That could be purchase orders, that is. So we could filter up here in the top right-hand corner on expected receiving date, on the location, and also purchase order number, and assign it to different employees. It's also good to say that on this front screen, different employees can have access to different functionalities. So if you don't want your employees to see all of these functionalities, you can differ by setting that up inside the BC. But jumping into the receive again. So right now, if I have 100 receiving orders, it could be difficult to actually narrow down or filter to receive some items into your warehouse. So if you imagine you have a pallet in front of you, you could actually go ahead and unwrap that pallet, and then you could scan an item. And when I scan this barcode on this item that I have in my hand right here, it narrows down to 2 receiving orders. Then, of course, you would need to pick. But if you have another item that is only inside this pallet or receiving order, you could scan that item, and then it will jump straight into this receiving order. So this is a quick way to narrow down and filter upon these features. So as you can see here, we have the quantity, we have which kind of unit of measure, box or pieces, and then we have the item description and the item number up here. So we can see this is all taken from the item card inside BC. So we know that we need now to receive these items. Right down here at the bottom, we have add cross-reference, which means these are shortcuts. So you could press this one, then you can scan a new barcode. If your item has some sort of a new barcode ready for this item or this good, then you can scan that barcode and now it gets updated into BC, and then now you can scan 2 barcodes for this item, for example, or 10 barcodes. Right now, you can see they are all blue here, but you could start receiving. And if I can find a Marabou orange inside my warehouse, I could scan that. I'm expected to receive 10, which is set up by the system. I can find 10 inside the pallet. So I would say yes. Then I move on to the Marabou pistachio. I scan the Marabou pistachio, and maybe in this pallet I can only find, or in this receiving order, I can only find 10 of these. Then I put in 10. And then, for example, again, you can see this turn orange because it's only partially received. If I can find the remaining 5, I can scan the item again. Then I can put in 5 because I'm expected to receive so, and then I can say yes. You can set the system to over-receive or probably also under-receive, but normally if you under-receive, these lines, if I were only able to receive 10 of these Marabou pistachio, the remaining 5 lines or 5 items would stay on this receiving order, maybe for the next day if these comes by the supplier the next day in the warehouse. But if they don't come, your backend person in the administration could close down this receiving order and then call the supplier, for example. We also support lot number tracking, item tracking that is, and also serial number tracking. So I'll show you that. So right here we have the Poker Peppermint Tea. If I scan that, you can see this is lot number tracked. So we need to set an expiration date for this. I can press this calendar because it's an item that you can drink or eat. Then I can set the expiration date, and then I can say here I'm done with that. I can move on to the next step, and then I can scan a lot number. I have a lot number here in my hand because we have that for our items. But if you don't have so, you can also put in a lot number by pressing this button with your finger and then type it in. But I scanned the lot number, and then we're good to go, and I receive 15 on this lot number, and I'll say yes. If, for example, you can see here that we might only be able to find 14 or maybe one of these items are defect or broken, you could attach an image down here at the bottom, press the plus sign, and then you can actually take a photo of where I'm sitting at the moment. The sun is up, so I have a curtain on. Then I could say yes, put in some text here. I just do some different alphabets. Then I say accept, and then I'm good to go. And now we're posting this small attachment here on the device. So that's good. You can also scan some golf balls, which are serial number tracked. So let me do that. I scan the serial, the barcode, then I scan one serial number, next serial number, and the third serial number. And now we're good to go to actually post this receiving order. What I want to say no here and show you that we can actually print out item labels here directly from the handheld device. So if I press this button, you can see that I'm able to print out item label and license plate contents label, which are sort of a ledger or a barcode that can conceive a lot of items inside of it, and then we can print out that information and tell you, okay, we have these amount of items inside this pallet or this box, for example. So you are able to print out directly from the handheld device. I want to post now, so I go to post, I scan the delivery node number, which I have, and then now it's updating BC, and it did that successfully. So now we're down to 10 receiving orders from the 11. Now we're done with receiving. Then we go out of this functionality. Then we should put this away on some bins inside the warehouse with locations and barcodes on. And then we could after pick it. So this is the last function I'll show today because we don't have more time. I'll go into pick here. I got 10 picking orders. I could again scan the items that I want to pick. Then it jumps straight into these orders. But I want to choose this one, which is pack and ship featured and certified, which means that we could actually pick these items and then ship it outwards, print out a label, and then contact a shipping provider, and then it could be shipped to your customers with a shipping label. So I'm going into this one. Here I can see that I need to scan or pick the Marabou pistachio. the Poker Peppermint Tea, and also a new Marabou Orange. These are all for the same shipment, this 009 figure here, where you can see that this is the same customer. So I'm going around in the warehouse wanting to pick the Marabou Pistachio. So I scan that barcode on the bin in front of me. Then I scan where I'm taking it, which is this bin, and I'm scanning that one, saying yes. And I need to scan a tote because I need to pick this item down into a box, for example. So I scan a box here, and then I put 3 of these Marabou Pistachio into a box in front of me. Then I move on to the Poker Peppermint Tea. Then I scan the barcode again. Then I scan where I'm taking it, which I can do with my finger, or I can just scan the barcode. Then I say yes. I need to scan the lot number, which I also have because it's lot number tracked. And then it tells me, because it's the same customer, we need to put this into the same box as the one before. If I scan a new box, I can also put it into that one, but it comes up with a mistake, so I would need to say yes to this. So I'm putting this into a new box. So now this customer has 2 boxes that I need to pick for. I move on, I say yes, then I scan the Marabou Orange here, the last item that I would need to scan the bin where I'm taking it. If I'm scanning another bin where I'm not taking it, for example, like this one, it comes up with a mistake because this is not where we have this item. So I say no, and then I scan the correct one instead. I can actually correct this with my finger. I say yes, I want to take it from here instead, and then I would need to put this into box 1 or 2. If it was no room in box 1, then I just put it into box 2. But if I don't have room in box 1 or 2, I scan box 3, and then I say yes, I want to use this new tote, and then I'm having 3 boxes for this customer, putting different items into different boxes. So this is how you could pick, and now we're done, and now we can update BC. Right now I couldn't do so, which is a good thing, and it's valid for this demo, because this item, the last Marabou Orange, was not on this bin that I was taking it from. So I cannot pick it from that, and then I cannot post it, which is a good thing. So you could never do mistakes with the Tasklet one if it's set up correctly inside BC. So right now I want to go out of this again, this picking order. I want to say leave, and then I can move on. You can see it's orange, so I can do it later, maybe after lunch, maybe tomorrow. It doesn't matter. You decide, and then you can post it when you have the right information. But this is what I wanted to tell about Tasklet today. So I'm done, and thank you for that. You can reach out to EIP for additional information, or reach out to me. But yeah, now I think that Michael will move on.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. Thank you, Mickey. So at this moment of time, you guys probably understand why we as a EIP do not have our own WMS solution. So that simply we cannot just create something which is more beautiful or better towards the Tasklet one, which is just perfect and really up and running and working smoothly. And now I see Michael has already started the presentation regarding Yaveon. So Michael, I hope you can switch on your camera as well, and let's just hit the road with Yaveon experience. So the stage is yours, Michael.
All right, thank you, Premik. So welcome everybody, good morning. Thanks very much to AEP for the ability to present Yaveon and the solution today. My name is Michael, leading the partner management team at Yaveon. And I want to initially start out with setting the scene a little bit. Many of you already are using Business Central or are interested in using Business Central. And I wanted to quickly talk about differentiation. So hearing all these exciting information this morning about the new updates really shows where Business Central sets itself apart from other competing ERP solutions. And the biggest one is kind of being part of this Microsoft ecosystem. You're using an ERP system which comes with a great set of functionality, but with an out-of-the-box connection to tools that you and your users are already using on a day-to-day basis, such as the Office 365 suite. Now the Power Platform is becoming more and more popular. More and more people are using this, are creating more and more no-code and low-code solutions on this. Again, direct out-of-the-box connection to Business Central with this no-code, low-code platform. And we heard a lot today about AI and Copilot, really showing you how Microsoft is infusing the capabilities of AI directly into Business Central, into ERP to enhance that. But why Yaveon is here, Continia is here, Tasklet is here, is also a very important part called partner ecosystem, right? So partners, ISVs who are enhancing the Business Central system with additional functionality, additional industry experience, all through one dedicated platform called Microsoft AppSource. So the vision with Microsoft is saying they want to provide a high quality, oops, this one too quick. There you go. So the vision with Microsoft is they want to provide a global core ERP system that is directly focused on the SMB segment. They want to create an ERP system that does all of the functionality that any customer wants and expects. So we're talking about finance, sales and purchasing, supply chain topics, projects, anything like that. And that's the core system that comes from Microsoft. But similar to the way that when you purchase a mobile phone today, after a short period of time, you're going to go into an app store and download an app because there's just some functionality that's not included in the core system. And that's the same vision that Microsoft has. They provide something called AppSource. That's their app store with currently over 4,000 apps where you can pick and choose from. These can be installed with one click of the button directly into your system, and then it provides additional features directly within Business Central. Right, and that's where Microsoft is working with ISVs such as Yaveon, Tasklet, and Continia to add that additional benefit to Business Central. And that's where we as Yaveon come in. And our mission from the very beginning has been we want to create the best solution for the process industry out there. So the process industry are customers who are utilizing recipes and formulas, working with lots of batches. And we back in 2008, identified that there are just some enhancements, some features missing in Business Central and Navision, and we set out to create an industry solution for these customers. And we're talking about the process industry. We're talking about customers in the pharmaceutical industry, in the food industry, in the chemical, cosmetic, medtech, and biotech industry. So we set out to create industry solution for these customers. We're trying to make Business Central the industry solution that reflects all of their requirements, all fully baked in within Business Central. And we've been doing that for over 16 years now. We as a company have grown to over 220 employees in Germany who have a focus on implementing Business Central in the software, but also creating these over 25 apps. And these 25 apps are distributed and implemented by our international partners, such as AAP here today, that utilize these apps to enhance Business Central for these industries. And over the past 16 years, we as Yaveon and together with our over 50 partners internationally are looking at currently at over 750 implementations where these apps and these solutions are being utilized to address these industry requirements. So what are some of the benefits when deciding to go with these apps, right? So the advantage of apps being distributed through AppSource, certified by Microsoft, is that it's all fully integrated, right? So all the functionality that is added to the system is all within Business Central. So it's still one user interface, one access point. It's not an external system that's being connected or integrated or developed. It's all within Business Central. Another advantage is the modular approach. So we say that we have an industry solution for these industries, and that is correct, but we also provide our apps in a modular way so that it's like a restaurant menu where you can really pick and choose based on the functionality that you need. It's not just one solution where you say, I'm only using 20% of this. There are over 25 apps to pick and choose from based on your requirements so that you can basically build the solution, build the functionality that you need. We offer quick start guides and guided tours, meaning that we want to make the setup and the usability of the solution as easy as possible, and also the configuration and setup of the system so that we shorten the whole project length. We want to make the solution as accessible as possible. That means we have a very thorough and dedicated online help and documentation for the key users, and we also provide an e-learning platform with guided tours that enable key users to really understand and quickly learn how to use Business Central that is utilizing the ProBatch apps. We provide monthly updates. That means if you're in the cloud, there's no issue when automatically updating with Business Central, as we will always have a version that is available for the version with Business Central, meaning that you're always going to be on the latest and greatest version of Business Central and ProBatch. And last but not least, we try to make the solution as highly configurable as possible without you having to do any custom or code development, meaning that it's not just one solution that fits all. You're going to be using a solution that provides many different options to choose from so they can really adapt to your requirements, your processes, but without having to go into any custom code. So that's kind of the benefits of using our apps in the solution. Let's take a look at the functional benefits on a high level. So there are over 25 apps, but just to kind of highlight some of the core features, we start out with our bread and butter app, and that's our lot management app. So we provide enhanced lot management. Customers in these industries all work with lots and batches. They have high requirements when it comes to moving their items on lots, working with lots, defining additional attributes, splitting and merging, track and trace, and we add all of that directly within Business Central. Now, when it comes to process manufacturing, that means the manufacturing process is based on recipes and formulas, meaning you're going to be combining not just the bill of materials, but you're also going to be interested in setup times. When are you putting these ingredients in? What intervals do you need to wait between putting in these ingredients? And instead of doing all of that separately, we have combined all of that into something called a manufacturing specification. So basically a recipe of which you are then manufacturing your product directly within Business Central. Most of our customers have high regulatory requirements. They need to achieve certain certifications. We add this with a compliance app, being able to add this functionality directly within Business Central. Things like an electronic signature, field security, and audit trail provide an extra level of security so that these customers with Business Central can achieve these certifications. Quality management is something that all of our customers need. So managing the quality of all the goods that are being purchased, manufactured, and sold. We have the ability to manage this quality and define actions based on quality management, quality inspections, all within Business Central, even automatically creating something called a certificate of analysis. For our food customers, recall management is also very important. There are mock recalls, meaning that if anything is encountered during the manufacturing process, that you can very quickly see what does this trace back to, which items are affected, which lots are affected, which suppliers are affected, and this can automatically be generated in the system, shortening the whole period of time when it comes to such a recall. And last but not least, for customers who are trading and selling their goods to many different customers internationally, we have trade enhancements in Business Central, defining customer hierarchies, bonuses, rebates, commissions, and much more. This was a short introduction in the Yaveon ProBatch solution. I hope something of this was interesting for you. If so, please do reach out to your ERP contact, and then we're happy to take a look at your requirements and drill a bit deeper. Thanks very much, guys.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate it, and I really like what I have seen. I hope our customers as well. At this moment of time, I would like to go more into our solutions now. So at some point of time, guys, probably you understand that each development, each major partner would have their own solutions, so their own apps on the app source. It's just happening based on years of experience, particular complex projects. And at Alna and EIP Dynamics and Digital Mind, we are proud of quite a few portfolio of solutions. And guys, who would be the better person to talk about them than Klaudiusz Kulig, ahead of our R&D department? Klaudiusz, I would give the stage to you, and just go ahead, please.
Thank you, Przemek, for the introduction. So good morning, everyone. Today, I'm very excited to have you join us today as we introduce the latest development in our R&D department, B2B Portal, and completely new product point of sales. In ever-evolving business landscape, staying connected and having efficient tools at your disposal is crucial for success. Our products are designed to streamline your process, increase collaboration, and provide you with all the resources you need to grow your business. So during my presentation, we will walk through the new features in the B2B portal. I will demonstrate how they can benefit your operation. In the second part of the presentation, we would like to take the opportunity to showcase our new post-product details. We are very committed to providing solutions that make your work easier and more efficient. So let's dive and explore it. So at the beginning, we start with the B2B portal with the role management, some elements of communication. We added the finance information, product list, product details, some kind of favorite list, and functionality regarding promotion, sales document, and other proposed products or order placement. But in last month, we added some quite huge, good missing functionalities in the business central, in the B2B portal for our business central. So we added the possibility to preview or edit the order. There is new functionality to just return the sales order, just to give the possibility to return if it was wrongly ordered or in some other different cases. Now you can just check as the salesperson or just the customer the prepared sales quotes in the system. One of the good functionalities is also the payment. So if the customer is want to pay something quickly, he don't want to make some bank transfer, he can use the pay platform functionality to pay it. And something the last but not the least, so the advanced dynamics filters. So using the item attributes on the categories, we can just speed up our searching of products on our portal. So now I'm going to present you the demo of the portal. Okay. So here we are on the login page. So we have the possibility to choose the language. I will show you 3 user scenarios. First will be for the user. So I will log in as the user. So I'm now on my dashboard. I can see different banners, some welcome messages, and I have also some communications elements like the HTML notification. So here is just the shortcut. We can extend it. Just look on the bigger description. Below I have some information about my assigned salesperson to me. I have information regarding my balance, my trade limit, or even what I have to pay. At the bottom of the dashboard, I can check my latest sales documents. I can check my details. So I'm the trade research now. I have assigned some VAT number and address details, and I have information regarding the payment method. So going from this, I want to go to the products. I have the possibility to check different products. Here we have the possibility to choose the category of our products, just to see how it's to limit the view which we have here. So I can go, for example, from to desk, and here you can just see the new functionality named the advanced filters. After choosing the category which has assigned some attributes, I can just filter out, for example, using the height of the desk, and it will just filter out everything. So we can use different attributes and just filter what we want. So I will just add to the card one of the desk. Maybe I will go back to the list. Here we have 3 different views of list, and I will add also some, for example, basket. Maybe in different amount. Here we have also the possibility when we are using different units of measure for our products. So we can just choose pieces or boxes. It depends how many items we want just to order. Now I will just go to the shopping cart. Here we have the possibility to change the quantities. We can just still edit our order. We can add the future products. It's connected with the category, so the system is suggesting me that maybe I should add some different items to it. We can just select here the delivery date, which we want, recommended for us. In some other version of B2B Portal, we can also provide here the payment method, possibility to choose the payment method or just the delivery method. So it depends on the customer needs. I will just send the order. It's already placed in the system. We can go to it and look on it. So the communication is working in real time. So we are not synchronizing the data, for example, once per 1 minute or every 5 minutes. So it's working very fast. So if the customer user is sending the order to us, we have the information about it. So now I want just to go to the order which I sent today. So this is this one. So, oh, maybe not this, the second one. So as you see, there we have the possibility to preview this sales order or just edit it. I want to show you that we can edit this item and just approve the changes. And now if I will refresh it, so you see 4 and 2, and I have already updated the information in our B2B, in our business central. So the communication is really fast. And now, okay, now we can go to the next new functionality, like the possibility to pay some invoices. Here I have 4 different invoices. I can select one or more, and we have the summary of it that we have to pay. For example, 12,000. I will choose one. I can go to the pay, and here we have the possibility. This is some simulator of the pay, so I'm paying it. We are returning to the system. In the background, we are sending information to Business Central, and we are posting the payment and in the Business Central, so everything is connected and you don't have to make more work, and it will just lower the credit limit, or the credit limit will be still the same, but we will just post it, and the liabilities, the the money which we should give to the company is still it's made lower. So what else? On the documents, we have also the possibility to make the sales returns. So from the financial documents, we have the information that some of invoices were already posted. And we have the still, it's looking that we have the, in this case, we have set up the 14 days period when we can just return the document, the items. So I can go to the invoice and I can select products which I want to return. For example, this furniture. So we can just provide here the information, what return reasons we want to put here. Sorry. Okay. So I will just return the product, and it's sending the return to Business Central, and then we are creating the sales return orders. So here I have just created the sales return order from the B2B portal, and now I can proceed it in the Business Central, and it helps us to be just closer to the customer. Here we also added the sales offers, so now we can just preview what the company provide for the customers. So for example, salesperson prepared some special offer, so we can just log in, go to the sales order, just view what is there, and we have all information. And from it, we can also create order if we are just accepting the conditions in the order, and just create order. And now I will have it in the sales documents. Okay. So this is just the one use case scenario. I just want to go to the admin version, admin role of this B2B portal. So you can see that we can just manage here with the users. We can manage the notifications. We have also banners here and welcome messages. If you will be interested how we are managing with those information, just catch me up. We can just prepare some additional presentation for you and just give you more information and go more deeply in this product. The third user case scenario is that we can log as the salesperson. So I will log in. So here, as the salesperson, I'm assigned customers to me. So I can see customers which are under my control, under my service. So I cannot log in as them. And the difference in the view is that I cannot see the assigned salesperson because it's me. And on the products, we have more information regarding stock availability. For the customers, we are showing just the level of items on the stock, but they don't have the exact information regarding the stock availability. And what else? And it's working for the user and the salesperson. We have shopping list. So now you have possibility to create a lot of new shopping lists. For example, coffee tables. You can put here some additional products or remove them, and it can speed up the process of ordering items which you have regularly ordering from some company. Okay, now I will switch to back to the presentation. So the second our product which we want to share with you today is the point of sale. So we are providing a point of sales which support you with from the process. It should make the process easier. So we can create the order, then we are just making everything connect, putting all information which we want on the order. We can process the mixed payment functionality, so we can pay some orders in the half with money and with cash and half with some credit card. We have already connected payment terminals to this system. I will show you on the next screen which vendors are already supported by our solutions. Then we are just posting the payments, and then if all payment postings were done properly, we are posting the invoice, we are issuing the fiscal receipt on the fiscal printers connected to Business Central, and then we are just assigning the payment with the invoices, and we can just support the process and make the sales process in the point of sales, for example, in the shops or some hard on some different places, just faster. And just we want to limit the steps which user has to do to sell some items from the system. And here is the screen regarding payment terminal supported. So we are supporting now eService, Polcard, Yaveon, and Payto. And some of them we already have certificates of compliance from them. It's Yaveon and eServe, so Polcard, and we are in progress with the vendor eService, and at the end we are planning to get the certificate from Payto. And with the fiscal printers, we are supporting protocols like Thermal, Postnet, Novitus, or LZAP. Okay, so I think it's enough from my side.
All right, thank you, Klaudiusz. It was also such an inspiring session. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I hope you guys did understood the potential and possibilities which goes together, especially with B2B Portal, and for those that are running any point of sales, also with POS. And now let me introduce to you on the stage Roman Baiev. So Roman is going to dive into the Dynamics 365 Sales and Power Platform. Can tell you guys that Roman will share today some hints and some information that were even surprising to myself. I'm really happy that as a group we can offer a complex portfolio of Microsoft business applications. Let us see and understood the beauty of Power Platform together with sales, and see how those apps can really automate and simplify some of your company's processes. Roman, please pick up from that, and the stage is yours. Good luck.
Hi, I hope I'm audible right now. Yeah, and I'm going to share my screen and you will be able to see my presentation. That's cool. And thank you guys that you're still tuned. I'm really excited and thrilled that I am a part of this customer day, and I really like speaking about Dynamics 365 and Power Platform in general. So here is like our agenda in briefly what I'm talking about. Here you can see is that Dynamics 365 is a versatile platform. It's not only CRM as is, you can also bring a few more integrations, bring some third-party applications, and transform your CRM system into powerful tools that will help you with each particular step throughout your sales process, throughout your opportunity processes, throughout your goal management. Yeah, and Microsoft is also one of the biggest vendors, one of the biggest players on this market. That's why this platform is always up to date and has a lot of different connections and customizations. And also after CRM part, we'll briefly talk about our Power Platform solutions and about Power Platform in general. So here you can see that I'm going to tell you a bit more about those highlighted parts, Power Apps and CRM. And here is first slide about opportunity sales processes. A lot of you already know that CRMs, those are mostly for opportunities to track some chances of purchasing, chances of selling something, and Dynamics 365 is ready to provide you with really versatile opportunity process, because you can just modify it. You can add some steps, you can add some different views, you can add some extra visualization. And as was previously mentioned by previous speakers, that in those opportunities in Dynamics 365 system in general, Power BI or Copilot AI, they are ready here to help you with all those different steps and all those different items that can be appearing in opportunity management process. Next step is Sales Insight. After my slides, I will do a short demo of all of it. So in Sales Insights, we have a huge, endorsement based on Copilot, and here is who knows whom, and here is our opportunity scoring method. Also in Sales Insights, we have different features such as assistance, auto captures, notes analytics, relationship analytics, and who know whom. Lastly, I'd like to speak about our different integrations such as Outlook, Teams, etc. And let me really just show you something of it. And I'll start probably with I'll start probably with this dashboard. So here you are able to see my dashboard, which is prepared on a blank dashboard template that available is in Dynamics 365 platform. Here you can see some basic charts that are available, and also here is a web resource extra part that is available as a third party, it's available as an integration or just an entire like web resource that you can bring from your own applications, that you can build by yourself. For example, you have sales department, and a few members of sales department want to calculate their commission fees, and or they want to assess it on what exactly customers they are willing to spend more time. It's easy just to create some useful integration, some useful tools within Dynamics 365, and you will be able to make them interactive. You will be able to make them useful for each person or for each department of your team. So here you can see that a commission calculator, it's working, and it's showing us different proportions, different percentages for each of those calculations, for example, as of for all of those sums. Here you can see that we can make those graphs more interactive using different tools. Also, we can make an embedded Power BI report here, but let us focus on Dynamics 365 tools themselves. So previously I mentioned something about opportunities. Here you can see like this pipeline that is connected to opportunities. Here you can see a few different steps that are currently available with all of those opportunities. And for example, let me click on one of those opportunities, and while it's opening, it's typically that you will be able to see all those crucial fields. You will be able to customize them, what exactly you want to see, what exactly you want to omit on those views for your own system, for your own CRM. Okay. So it was still loading, and for example, here you will be able to see opportunity score and different applications, different activities that are connected to the current opportunity. So for example, we have this Mint toothpaste, and we have connected contact and connected account, and all of those activities, emails, meetings, calls that are booked on those contacts will be available in this timeline. And also here we have this opportunity scores. The system and sales insights will help us and will tell us a bit more about this particular opportunity and about whether we should spend more time on it, or what exactly is our outstanding point, and what exactly is bearing in this transaction or is this opportunity. And also, as previously mentioned, that Dynamics 365 is a versatile tool, and you can connect, you can not only customize it, but also connect different applications. You can build your own, for example, probability calculator. Here you can see just a nice example of such integration where I prepared for you this calculator. For example, you have a client and you just want to know whether this deal is going to happen or not. You can just amplify, or you could just create your own algorithm, because a lot of companies have their own thoughts of each deal, whether this deal will be successful or not. And here, for example, we can calculate whether this is going to be successful or not, but it's just an example, because much more can be implemented after you just decide for it. For example, if you want something similar to a recruiting system, it also can be implemented in Dynamics 365 CRM module. Or if you want to work more with your customers' success or with customer service modules, and I'm going to speak a bit more about customer service and customer insights modules right now. So customer insights module in Dynamics 365 will help you a lot with different customer related metrics, for example, with retention score, with like tone of the last meeting, if you enable Copilot AI. And actually, as it was previously mentioned, that AI is everywhere right now, and AI is helping us step by step. And this slide is about support, is about customer service module, and about all those cases, entitlements, knowledge articles, entities that are available currently in Microsoft Dynamics customer service. And let me briefly show you what I am talking about. So here, for example, we have our customer service hub in Dynamics 365, and I created just a demo test case just to show you how it all works. Here we have our case with some basic information, with some titles. Here you can see that Copilot AI is already here to help us. And for example, I want to draft an email. I want to create an email. And here you can see that Copilot is already here to help us, is already here to just create draft, just create a more perfect scenario for response. And here, for example, I will just select this suggest a call option, and Copilot will generate it, and you can just press copy, and it will appear on our main stage here, and you will be able to just modify it as you wish, add your footer, add your signature, and send it as you wish. And those cases are really now kind of automated with using Copilot AI, because Copilot is also really useful tool when we are looking through different customer services and different knowledge base articles, because in our system we can have a ton of different data, informations, articles, and this Copilot will help us find exactly what we need. Going back to our presentation, and here you can see that Copilot is here to grade our opportunities, to help us with emails, to help us with summarizing our customers or accounts. For example, let me briefly show you this account. We can just start with this Copilot button, and we are currently on this just test trivial research account. And for example, I would like to select one of those prompts, get info, and let me please learn a bit more about this account. I'll just press summarize account, send it, and Copilot will show us exactly what we need about this trivial research account. For example, you can find that there are some opportunities related, there are some sales, there are some previous activities related to this account. And going to the next slide, I'm really a big fan of different statistics because you just can compare everything in digits. You can see the changes when you have clear numbers. And here is stats or chart based on one of the latest researches on CRM markets. And previously, it was defined that when you invest $1 in your CRM system, the system will bring you your return on investment on a level of $5.6. If you have CRM system with business automation and tailored customization, the CRM system will bring you even more, around $9. for each one invested dollar in the CRM solutions. And for sure, lastly, we are talking a lot about AI, and this survey shows that lots of this AI functionality will drive your business even more, and will show and your business will show even higher return on investment in this third generation. And going to the next one, and it is a Power Platform. So Power Platform is just a useful business platform where you can see there are a lot of tools. To be more precise, 5 tools, and here you have this pool. Please, if you are still here and tuned, please just select one of those options, how you think, how many of the Power Platform tools are the market leaders, the most popular tools in the respective niche. There are currently 5 tools, and I present you those different 4 options, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and please select what you think about this Power Platform in general. So, and I'm going to show you how Power Platform is connected to Dynamics 365. Basically, here we can see our Power Apps environment, and Power Apps environment has a lot of connected modules, connected applications, and it shows and it allows us edit something, because all of those tools are for citizen development. For example, if you want to change something, if you want to change some views on a go when the system is already here, you can just make it all on a go on your own, just with creating or changing it by yourself, because this system allows you to do this. For example, we want to change one of our forms on an account entity. Here you can see that Power Apps lets us see everything about account table, account entity, and here are our forms. We will just press our form, select the main one, and this editor will open and will show us all related fields, all related business processes, and views to this account entity. And here you see that currently our account entity has a few views. And for example, let us change name of this view from Customer Day 2024 demo to just Customer Day 2024, and your salesperson, your admins will be able to do this on a go. And apart from Power Apps, there is a Power Platform Admin Central, where you will be able to admin your entire Dynamics 365 and Power Platform related environment. You will be able to see all your expenses or your billings and analytics to your the Dataverse capacity, to the databases, to your Power Apps, Power Automate, and so on. Yeah, for example, just like this. And going back to our presentation, so thank you guys for participating. I can see that a couple of you gave us our results in that pool, and here I just want to present you chart that will help us answer our question: how many of the Power Platform tools are the market leader? And there are currently 5 Power Platform tools, and 4 of those are market leaders in their respective niche. Power BI is the most widely used tool for BI analytics, Power Automate for business automation and workflows, and Copilot for sure based on OpenAI chat, OpenAI engine. It is most widely recognized tool. And so you can see that 4 out of 5 tools are market leaders. And by selecting everything else, if you can select market leader with great credibility, and for sure it will return you good return on investments. So thank you, and I am finishing my presentation right now.
All right, thank you, Roman. That was also very amazing presentation. not something that I could call, like English guys saying, bread and butter, but still very inspiring and very nice session. Thank you again. But at that point of time, guys, I think you shall understand that we as a Digital Mind Group are really keen on full Microsoft Dynamics ecosystem. We've been going through what's new session with Dynamics Business Central, then sharing with you some experience regarding the artificial intelligence and Power Platform, then going through the ISVs and our own solution, ending up with Roman's session with Sols and Power Platform facilities. And now that would be this moment of time where we would like to share some success story with you. The success story would be related with one of the most biggest customers of us, so UTSCH from Germany. Well, at this point of time, I'd like to make sure that we already have on board Till Rebernik, CEO of UTSCH. So I see Till is here. Thank you so much, Till, for joining us. So let us just hit the road together and go through the case study. So this session is a talking session between two of us. On one side, I have an honor to present to you Till Rebernik. So in the moment, Till he's going to introduce to you guys by himself in the second. On the other side, you guys see myself. The reason for that is that I've been a principal consultant for that project. And frankly, this is the very first project which I have been given while joining almost 2 years ago to EIP. So which on one side makes me very proud and happy that we have ended up at this stage as we are now, and also makes me very excited that we will share our joint trip together. Still, let's just stop for a moment and let's just give the stage to Till and let's hit the road together.
Yeah, thank you, Przemek. Thank you for having me today. Just want to say a few words about myself and the company. So now my name is Rebernik, located in Germany. I joined the U Group and UTSCH AG in May 2022 as the CFO and CDO at the time. Since then, I've also taken on some additional responsibilities here for our German business as co-CEO of the site, really here in Siegen. A few words about the company. So, when I joined, as I said, like a CFO, CDO, I came with some experience in other industries, which were not related to what I'm doing today. So I started out with consulting, then worked in the pharmaceutical sphere, actually with quite big corporates, and then also for a manufacturing company that was held by a private equity fund. When I then joined UTSCH and the U Group, that was a completely new industry for me. So the U Group is one of the global leaders in identification and authentication solutions, mostly related to vehicles. So if you see, in any country in the world, there's a chance that the license plate that is on a car is actually from one of our group companies. So we operate in a lot of different companies: Australia, China, Denmark, France, Germany, Ireland, Netherlands, Norway, UK, Spain, and Sweden. So this is where we really have a local presence. And then through Erich UTSCH AG, we are actually present in a lot of global markets through our project business. Erich UTSCH AG is focused on vehicle license plate manufacturing and also creating the equipment that other customers need and to create and produce their license plates. The company is quite, I don't want to say like super old, but has some history. It's founded in 1961 and it's headquartered in Siegen, North Rhine-Westphalia. This is also where I'm here today. We're making around 50 million euro revenue with that business, and in the whole group, we're making around like 60 million euro revenue. What is interesting about our business, and I think we're also touching on that when we come to the ERP implementation. We are a group of companies, but most of our businesses are operating in their local markets. So the business model is similar, but not always the same. And that also led us to the conclusion why Business Central is actually an interesting choice for us as an ERP system. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Theo, for that little introduction. Well, truly, we've been in the close cooperation regarding the ERP's implementation project for a while already. I think it's more than a year now. We already had some first go live, some first success stories, and we are now hitting the road with the next stages. Still, before we go there, why don't you share some prior experience of yourself regarding the ERP projects, please?
Yeah, I was involved in one ERP rollout that was actually in the pharmaceutical space. That was with SAP, but for a much bigger company. I've mostly seen ERP systems then on the user side, really, with a finance focus in my previous roles. But I could very much see how a good ERP system or a bad ERP system can impact the business, right? If you have, a lot of problems actually, data analytics, getting the right information out of the system, or just having like very complex processes that really, can destroy a lot of like business value. And at the same time, if that works really well, normally tremendously helps you with every business that you run.
Well, bad system can destroy everything, that's true, and good system can just help you, right? So when you joined U Group, what was the state of art of ERP system at the very beginning when you joined there? And how did you kind of come across with the decision to move forward with the Business Central online implementation?
Yeah, so when I joined U Group, to be really fair, my focus was mostly on the German business because that was like the closest to me. But I knew that we had a lot of different businesses running on different ERP systems. But when you look at UTSCH specifically, we were on Navision 2016 and still are with some of the companies that we have here in Germany. But it was a heavily customized on-premise solution, right? And we saw that was probably not fit for purpose to continue building, our internal processes and customer-facing processes on top of it. And we saw there were a lot of suggestions coming out of the business, actually, what we could improve, but it would have basically meant that we, needed to do more customization. And that is then really when we embarked, onto the journey and saying, we think we need to come up with another ERP system. Business Central, was one of the choices that we considered, but also looking at kind of like the different sizes of the business that we have. We are, I would say, in each market, somewhat like mid-market companies. It seemed to be the right fit for us.
Well, I still remember when we started this pain regarding all the thousands of add-ons with NAV and the system being on one side very hard to maintain, and on the other side starting to be more and more positive, I would say. But back to the point. So when you decided to go with Business Central online, this is where we came across with VIP, right? So when you started this selection process for the vendor, I guess we've been just not the only one on the stage, but still it's where you started to search, right? And did find us.
Yeah. Maybe just one more word to Business Central, because to be honest, I find the Microsoft work really interesting, but also sometimes confusing. At some point, we saw there's also another ERP system for Microsoft, but then given the size of our business, we said Business Central, and then also the discussion that we had, it seemed to be the right fit. For us, it was also coming from Navision 2016, somewhat like a natural fit, and we also had other businesses working with Navision because the users were somewhat, familiar with the interfaces. That was where we said, okay, we think that is the right ERP system for us, and then to your point, then we started really looking for who can actually help us to implement that solution. I came across EP actually very similar to what we're doing today. So this is where I think it's always interesting to also get some real insights and experience, because it was actually through a webinar that EP had published on their website. We were saying 5 countries implemented in 4 months, or the other way around. But I thought that's really quick, right? Because ERP systems, just from my experience, are really hard work, quite complex projects, and was really surprised that went so well and so quick. And I was like, okay, maybe if they can do it, maybe we can be as quick as well, right? Here we are now 1.5 years later. So we're not as quick, but I think also with some more complexities. And that is actually then, where I learned about EP, and I felt it was really an interesting presentation. I then reached out through, just going on the website, contact form. Didn't actually get any response initially, so it was a bit impatient. And I said, okay, is that like a real company here? No one replied. And then I was reaching out through LinkedIn to Rafael, head of sales, and he was writing then, almost instantly back and saying, "I'm sorry, we have been on an offsite here. Hard to have a connection, but happy to discuss." And that was then really when the discussion started. And what I personally, but also the team, really liked is that it was a good mix between technical discussions, even with Rafael. First call, we already had some technical questions, and he was opening his dashboard back end, showing us how can we set up entities in Business Central. So it was very much hands-on for him as a salesperson. But then also, when we kind of engaged into the discussions, what I really felt was EAP's strong suit was coming in and with the initial workshops, trying help us to understand where does Business Central really help us, but also EP really trying very hard to understand our operations and our processes. So, not just having this, we come in, we tell you what you need to do, but actually, people going through all the processes that we have in the factory here, and really looking, manufacturing, logistics, and mapping that out and saying, I think we have a good understanding now what you're doing here, guys.
It's funny to say so. Rafa was also out of office at that time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rafa. Anyway, it really sounds like as EAP has played a key role from the very beginning of the project, right? Well, maybe we shall go more deeply and share some challenges that we face or you face during the implementation so far, Teal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I feel like it's a learning curve. It still is. What were the challenges that we faced? Luckily, I would say it is a process that is still fun. Not everything is fun, but mostly our ERP implementation is fun. But I would say there are, kind of like a couple of things that were challenging. And I think it's true for most companies that are looking kind of at an ERP implementation and maybe have a bit of the same thing that we are seeing. It's almost like a mix of different businesses, right? We have different business models under one roof. So, and a lot of, as I said, we are founded in 1961. So we have a lot of processes that are really well documented, and then some processes that just work, right? People know what they are doing. They're working for the company since 20 plus years. And these processes sometimes are not, kind of like written down in a flow chart. So, and we made that experience throughout the project a couple of times, just getting the right people involved that will really make sure that we understand the process fully, and that we also then can capture it in the ERP system. That was one of the things, where we had sometimes a bit back and forth because we figured out, okay, actually there is an info that we hadn't had before, so we need to rediscuss, right? And something, sorry.
It is like this every now and then discussion I used to have, I'd like to have, I must have. Mm-hmm. But I can truly admit it was a tough journey, and we've been tough, I would say, a sparring partner. So it's not like we've just been there trying to sell as much hours as possible, but we really try to challenge you guys, right? Is this still needed? Is this still up and running? Do you really need it? With the beauty of Business Central again, right?
Yeah, it's coming to the other point, what I wanted to say, because I think, as you say, this was really important in our first discussions for us as a business. We didn't just want to do like copy paste and move everything over from Navision 2016. So when we actually wanted to challenge ourselves, can we do some process differently? Can we move back to standard processes? Get out of this customization. And that was like one of the first discussions that we actually had, and then throughout the project is really where EP was coming in and saying, hey, we understand what you're trying to do, but maybe there's a better way, right? And not being impolite, but just saying, hey, out of our experience, there are different ways that you can achieve the same thing that you're doing today, but just in a more efficient way. So I think that was really helpful, and it is part of that project. It's obviously an IT solution, but I think it's not like an IT project. It's actually a management and has a lot to do with change management. And I'm pretty sure that will actually continue. Even we're still having planned to go live with 2 more entities. I'm pretty sure even after go live, that would be like a continuous exercise. How do we redefine our processes? How do we build on top of what we have set up now and make these processes better? And this is then besides getting people familiar with the system, but actually also, getting them on board to use it in the most efficient way. And as I said, because you asked me for the challenges, and it's something that I clearly underestimated at the beginning, but I think is really crucial if you want to do like a fresh start. Obviously, you have a lot of history and legacy, sitting in your system. But we also saw, in the past, we didn't really have a good data management process, right? So master data management process. So people were creating items, customers. So it was a bit all over the place. It was not like consistent on how people did it. So now we really wanted to do, use that opportunity again, clean up our master data, and then almost like start with a fresh set, right? It's not as easy because, you obviously still need to have a lot of the old master data, but we're just making sure now that it's kind of, in a clean format moving into the new system. And we're also making sure that, because we're not transferring everything, that we still have access to the old data so that people can, access the old system, at least with a read only. And then, if we see something needs to be moved over, that we can still do that. But it's actually an exercise. I think when you think about doing an ERP implementation and really want to redesign your processes and create better analytics, I think it's one of the, almost like most crucial points. And in my opinion now, if we would do this again, it's almost like you can't start early enough to think about this and start the process. Yeah,
that's actually a very interesting notice. So master data, I would say, is very underestimated. So master data is just their items. You have items, customers, you have customers, vendors, you have vendors. But truly, an appropriate way to move forward with master data, just to leave an inappropriate data back in the old system and just to think what is the best fit for the future system. That's a very good approach, which we truly did establish, and we are probably, I would say, both of us, we are pretty proud of, and we continue to go that way. And I got also this feeling. So, would you comment anything? So, during the way we did establish this change management board. From your experience, what that was helpful from the customer's experience? Did it help to you to go through all those basket of requests coming out from different users? I used to have this button, I want to have it there, discussing about business benefit. Would you comment roughly about that, please?
Yes, no, I think it's definitely helpful. So actually, another company that I worked with before, but much bigger in terms of size, multi-billion. They established the same thing, but in our size, I think, as you said, it's not that common. But it is something I think that's crucial for such a project, and I think it's even crucial after the project, right? Because as I said, like we in the past, we were a bit caught up by wishes that were coming out either from an individual person, or just out of the organization about, a lot of customization. And then, what we saw in the past, it was, sadly one or two guys that almost then needed to make the call. And, if you don't want to upset someone, they just like put it in. Right? But I think having like a structured process and saying, is that a must have? What's the benefit? What's the cost? I think that's important for the project. So I think that was really helpful having that in our project. But I think it's also an exercise and the practice that we want to continue after go live when we think about making changes to the system after go live.
The good note is this really needed, and what is the business benefit, right? So this is where we continuously discuss while thinking about those changes. We've still been in this section regarding the challenges. I was thinking that one big challenges has not been touched yet. I mean, a U group background and the core model background. I think that was a pretty nice challenge, and I would kindly ask you to comment on that as well, please.
Yeah, it's coming back to our I don't want to say unique structure, but it's it's our structure, right? We are a group of companies. We are the U group, but they are actually I don't want to say independent businesses, but they are companies part of that group that almost operate independently in their local markets, right? So we have, all of these companies are somewhat similar because they all operate around, identification, authentication, license plates, but their local market looks quite different. But still, when we, kind of started that project, the idea was, how can we create a blueprint that helps all of these companies, to be onboarded more easily in the future, right? So they don't have to start from a blank piece of paper, but actually can start with something that we created with already having other companies in mind, right? And also then from a group perspective, how do we set this up so that we, as a kind of like group headquarter, have capabilities then to have more business insights. Because today, that is a quite manual process, right? So not necessary in each business, but actually, aggregating a lot of the data, it is manually. It has some time lag, and I think once we kind of further progress down the line, onboarding more businesses onto Business Central, that blueprint should really help, and that standardization. First of all, to do the implementation for each business, making the pack a lot less, making that easier, but also creating a lot more higher level analytic capabilities and similar processes that actually also people can help each other, out of the different businesses if they run into a problem.
All right. I will probably challenge you once again, Till. Sorry to do this, but I was thinking, like, looking backwards, where we just started and then continue. Would you kind of do something differently in our project? Would you change something there?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we are overall really happy with the work here that we do with EP and all the input that we get. Just from my personal view, I think I said that probably if you do an ERP implementation 10 times, you probably always have 10 times like a learning curve, and something that you would say, I still would do that differently next time. For me, as I said, we here in Germany, we are on our Vision 2016 with some businesses still are, with others who made the switch. So I think that was good and bad, right? Because it was good because people knew, interfaces were familiar with the ERP itself. But then Business Central, again, is different to Navision 2016. Even if it looks very similar, it has different functionalities, different features. And I think that's just human nature, and it's coming back to change management. I think when people look at kind of like what they do today in Navision or did in Navision, they're always thinking about, okay, so what do I do today? What do I need, right? And then we had, to your point, even in these change management boards, we had some discussions around what people think they need. And that was sometimes a bit abstract because some people didn't really understand well enough, I would say, what's possible in Business Central. So, what would I do different? I think it could be helpful to get, a dummied down version of Business Central to some people early on in the process, even saying, hey, this is not your actual data. This is not, you can't really work with it, but just make yourself familiar with the workflows. And then let's have a discussion around, is there anything else you need, right? So, because that makes it more for the people.
Right, it would be more kind of full, right? But on the other side, I still remember, so we had this discussion that we decided just not to give to the system early enough to the people, just to avoid confusion, avoid those asking, hey, I used to have this button there, where is it now? But truly, thank you for that feedback. I think it's a good lessons learned for us. And now from the other corner, looking forward. So we still have a couple of next steps in front of us. So looking ahead, what would you nominate as the next more crucial steps for ours and our project?
So, as you said, we are, as you introduced that with success story, and I think it is, in parts already, because we went live with, so, when I talk about Erich UTSCH, there are actually more German legal entities that we have in Germany, and with some of them we already went live mid of this year. And that went really well. We still have, one of the big operational company to go live now at the beginning of next year. So that is now where we decided to make the switch over, because it makes a lot of things easier, in terms of financial reconciliation. And that's really, where we said next big step. So getting, getting everyone on board, doing the last tests, making sure that all the processes work, so that we then, comfortably can say we make the switch at the beginning of the next year. I'm pretty sure, so always things will pop up, so things will happen.
They always do.
We discussed, like, us and EP being on standby to fix those issues. But I think with the experience now that we made, already going live with some entities, that helps smoothing out that process. But that's really the next big step. Just going live and making sure that all of our operation process works. And and this is maybe sometimes where people also get a bit frustrated, because it's like a huge amount of work doing that. But I think it's really, as you said, it's really just the next step. And then once we have that system, that capability in place, that platform, then we need to further think, how can we then leverage that for our customer-facing processes, for our internal processes, where can we further automate, and then where can we use that whole Microsoft ecosystem, right, and build on top of that. So, with Power BI, I think it was also, some of the topics that you had earlier in the session, Power BI, Copilot, Power Automate. So really using that ecosystem and then, putting that on top of the ERP system that we have.
I would also probably challenge you with this another activity and exercise that we do in parallel. So like online shopping portal. Would you comment in the 2-3 words regarding that? So you did selected B2B portal for that kind of the face towards your customers. So any learnings here?
Yeah, it's we discussed that for quite some time here internally in terms of like online shopping solution. So we are working on a solution today, which is technically, I would say, like outdated. And we are more in a market where we have a lot of like B2B customers. Now I'm talking specifically about Germany. So B2B customers and B2G to governments. We are not focused on B2C business, right? That's not, we're working for other businesses. And then for us, really, the key consideration is how do we improve our processes? So how do we get our customers the possibility, kind of like to order their products with us in a convenient way? So, today we're still getting a lot of like emails, calls, sometimes even fax, right? So that is still around. But because I think our online solution today isn't really, up to the test of time. If you look at kind of like what an Amazon looks like, I think, it just looks old and clunky. But, then and coming to your question, so when we then discuss with EP, that solution was sitting right on top of Business Central, right? So because today we have the problem, we also need to do like, information transfer between our online shop and the ERP system. So that's like a manual process, but this shop solution is then actually sitting on top of Business Central, directly feeds the information, but it also doesn't have a lot of the, I would say like super fancy stuff, which, when you look at kind of B2B, campaigns and, lots of ads for our customer bases, mostly knowing what they want to order, coming in, and we really wanted to streamline that process, and that solution is really fit for purpose for what we are trying to achieve.
Right. Thank you. So maybe let's try to focus again on BC Online, please. So as mentioned, you've been already back in the past with NAV on-premise, which I've really find as a case, and this is a case study. So as a case, I really find it very interesting. And you did decided to go with the Business Central online version as a next step for your ERP system. Do you, by any chance, I hope you do, already see any benefits towards this decision to the organization? Or do you expect any future short-term benefits or long-term benefits to happen soon?
Yeah. So one of the things was, beside that Business Central, one of the key points for us, I think, benefits its integration into the Microsoft world, having some familiarity. But you could also have thought about why not going back into an on-premise solution. But Business Central really fitted into our bigger strategy, right? We wanted to reduce our on-premise footprint, move into more cloud services, and also, getting out of that cycle of updating ERP system, every 2 to 3 years, but actually working with a system that is, kind of like being updated in the background, and then just we need to look around, around the fence and see, okay, is there any solution that we need to take care of, but really having the core, being self-sufficient and not going into these update cycles. So what is our big benefit that we see is we will kind of like reduce a lot of the on-premise infrastructure that we need to run our ERP system. Today Navision 2016 is actually quite resource hungry in terms of service that we operate that system on. So that will all be outsourced. And we also going to see a benefit with the team that is managing Navision 2016 today, right? So there's another option. So there's also for them a learning curve, because Business Central works differently in Navision and some of the coding language. But a lot of the maintenance that they need to do today, we see that go away with Business Central, right? So it's on the one hand, kind of like cost reduction in terms of the physical footprint that we need, but we also can make sure that, you know, the team that we have that is really familiar with all of our business processes can focus on that and really, you know, work with the business and seeing what can we do better in the ERP system, you know, if anything comes up, instead of maintaining the ERP system by itself. Yeah. So, you know, and then as we said, like, you know, just scale that solution, internal processes, customer facing processes. I think that is the big benefit here of Business Central, that it, you know, allows for so much integration of third-party services.
I would probably add as well, or underline as well, this Copilot and the AI readiness, or even having this in-house free of charge just there in the license fee. And when I think and I look in the back, I really would say very simple case, but it, to my at minimum understanding, was very beneficial for UTSCH. So a simple and safe login. So when we started this journey, I still remember those colleagues from a huge group complaining how hard sometimes it is due to the safety reason, which is, of course, safety is very important, was to kind of log into NAV. And now with Business Central, there is just no worries, right? So you have just a simple HTTPS, like bank-like connection together with you guys are on E5 Microsoft plan. So it's all